Hello, everyone. So this is Marie. So now I'm going to present to you this talk, which was presented in the previous event in PizzaDAO, Valencia, last May 2025. So this is just an echo of what was we have presented in that event. So the title of this talk is "The World's Toughest Problems: How Blockchain Can Help Solve Them." So we are actually aware that we have these problems in the world nowadays. So we have climate change and extreme weather events. And then we have geopolitical conflicts, misinformation and disinformation, global health crisis and pandemic preparedness, as well as diversity loss and ecosystem collapse, food and water insecurity, governance deficit in emerging technologies, and societal polarization and fragmentation. So, just like any other problem, this is how we solve problems in general. No, so dealing with these problems, we should also do this as following this step. So, in this steps, the process of problem solving. We should identify the problem and then gather facts, generate options, evaluate and implement, as well as monitor results. So all of these are actually done by this new technology that we have, which is blockchain. So we go to the first problem which we are currently experiencing nowadays. This is climate change and extreme weather events. So blockchain can enable transparent carbon credit markets and ensure that carbon offsets are real and not double counted. So it can also track and verify sustainable supply chains from origin to consumption, making it easier to identify and reward the environmentally friendly practices. However, blockchain also has its own limitations. Blockchain doesn't directly reduce emissions or stop extreme weather. It's a tool for transparency and accountability within climate change action strategies, requiring strong policy, technological innovation, and clean energy and global cooperation. The other problem that we encounter nowadays is geopolitical conflicts and state-based armed conflicts. So blockchain's role is to enhance transparency and accountability in humanitarian aid distribution. And it can secure digital identities for refugees to support peace agreements or disarmament verification. And it leads to immutable record keeping. So, however, also has its own limitations. Blockchain cannot resolve the underlying political and territorial disputes that we have nowadays. And so the next problem that we are currently encountering is misinformation and disinformation. So blockchain's role is that it can create immutable records of content origin and modification, allowing users to verify the source and authenticity of information. So decentralized social media platforms, which are built on blockchain, could offer more robust resistance to censorship and provide transparent moderation policies, empowering users to control their data and content. However, blockchain also has its limitations. It doesn't prevent the creation of false narratives. It provides tools for verification and transparency, but it requires critical thinking, media literacy, and the responsible platform design to combat the spread of misinformation effectively. Another problem that we have currently is economic instability and inequality. So, how can blockchain help solve this problem? So, blockchain's role is in financial inclusion, reduce remittance costs, fractional ownership, and transparent systems. However, like it has its own limitations, it doesn't solve macroeconomic issues per se, and also it has also limitation in its adoption and regulation and the economic policies which are like affecting economic instability and inequality. So only these economic policies are able to directly solve this problem, but not blockchain per se. Another problem that they're facing nowadays is global health crisis and pandemic preparedness. So how do we ensure that the blockchain is able to solve these health problems? No, so blockchain ensures that the delivery of services and the health or pharmaceutical products to those people who actually need them. And it enables this help or the services to be tracked accurately and ensure transparency across all models. However, one of its limitations is that it cannot directly provide pharmaceutical products, no? Or it cannot directly provide its health services, which would require policies in health governance across this sector. So the next problem that we encounter nowadays is biodiversity loss and the ecosystem collapse. So blockchain's role is the transparent tracking of natural resources and verifiable supply chains of sustainable products, as well as it allows tokenization of new funding mechanisms. However, it has limitations in that blockchain doesn't directly restore ecosystems or prevent the habitat destruction. It provides tools for monitoring, accountability, and funding, which must be coupled with strong environmental regulations and conservation initiative. Another problem that we are facing is food and water insecurity. So, blockchain's role is farm to table the traceability and the transparent tracking of water rights and distribution. However, it also has its own limitations, wherein blockchain doesn't directly create more food and water for across all populations, and it requires agricultural innovation, infrastructure development, and equitable resource policies. As for the problem in human migration and refugee crisis, so blockchain's role is that it can provide secure, verifiable digital identities for refugees and displaced persons. It can also enhance the transparency and humanitarian aid tracking. However, it also has its own limitations, wherein blockchain cannot directly solve the root causes of forced migration. And with regards to the governance deficit in emerging technologies, blockchain's role is that it can provide transparent and auditable frameworks for AI models, recording data provenance for training sets, and logging AI decision making processes to enhance accountability and explainability. And we have this decentralized autonomous organizations or DAOs, which can offer new models for collective, transparent governance for emerging technologies. And this allows communities to set rules and make decisions. However, blockchain also has its own limitations in this area, is that the blockchain is a technical tool. It doesn't automatically create ethical guidelines or legal frameworks. And this kind of problem requires human oversight and robust regulatory bodies and a commitment to ethical development, which are very important or paramount to this issue. As with regards to the problem in societal polarization and fragmentation, so blockchain's role is that decentralized social media platforms could potentially foster more open and less manipulated dialogue by giving users more control over algorithms and content. And it provides the verifiable digital identities, decentralized social media, and algorithm control. So the limitations of blockchain in this realm is that blockchain cannot change human psychology or deeply ingrained the societal divisions. Its impact on polarization would depend on how the centralized platforms are designed and whether they genuinely encourage constructive engagement over echo chambers. So, as we all know, blockchain has its pillars in trust, transparency, and efficiency across various sectors. Do you think that the blockchain is the future? So personally, me and my colleagues say that, yeah, so blockchain is the future. It can greatly help in solving world's future as well as present problems. Is what we have discussed earlier, no? So Gracias. Thank you very much for listening to my presentation. And to end this, I would like to present uh, just a general overview of blockchain for those who are not familiar with it. So, how does blockchain work? First, in blockchain, a transaction is requested, and the block that represents the transaction is created. So, the block is sent to every node in the network. The nodes validate the transaction. The nodes then receive a reward for the proof of work. A block is added to the existing blockchain, and then the transaction is completed. So, thank you very much, everyone, for this giving me time and the opportunity to discuss with you about the blockchain and how it can help solve health, the world's problems. So until next time, thank you very much for your kind attention and good day to all of you. Gracias.